Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, my dear. Thanks for being here with me today.
Oh, total pleasure.
You're my first Monday special guest.
Yay!
Welcome.
Thank you.
So, hello, friends. I'm pretty excited today because I get to collab this morning with my wonderful friend Luma, who's come to visit today, and I'm super stoked to be here with Luma because Luma is a luminary and she's absolutely amazing, and we're just really happy to bring all of our girls here today with you.
We've got super antenna power here.
That's
so
right.
We're going to be surprised at what comes through our mouths here today with this combined.
Yes. Plus the extra flower antenna behind us.
Yeah, we got a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. So welcome, hi Moray. Welcome. Nice to have you here. And Luma was just saying, I'm so excited about what's going to come out of our mouths this morning because we don't have a plan. We're just kind of spontaneously doing it. And well, the plan is to open our mouths and see what comes out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's always a fun place to be.
Yeah.
So, our topic today is the unified love field.
Yeah.
And this came in yesterday, and we're going to have a conversation, and I mostly want to hear what my dear friend Luma has to say today because she's amazing. The way I know Luma is she's the girl with the dragonfly eyes.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Luma has an amazing ability to see energies and dimensions, and she also has an amazing YouTube channel that's called Illuminate with Luma, and we're going to put that in the comments later on when we're done our video today, so you can find her and subscribe on YouTube. And Luma is always an absolute wealth of information, delivered with love and compassion and a whole lot of fun. So, yesterday we started talking about the unified love field, and you started sharing with me about this new field of love that's coming in right now that's available to us. So I'm just wondering if you might like to start talking about that a little bit.
Sure.
Okay.
So, you've heard about the unified field, right? And when you think of unified field, there's a quality of coherence in that, and a quality when we bring the love into a unified love field, right? It's a smooth, coherent energy wave, right? So you can think of it coming in. So we've been living in a very chaotic, jagged kind of wave of energy, very disjointed, very disconnected, very compressed, very sharp, rigid, highs, lows, kind of like what the sound of a lawnmower or something, right? And this energy waves, so for me, I see energy movements and large energy currents. So it's coming in like this nice long, smooth, slow wave. And so what is it? It's coming into our planetary sphere. It's coming into our own energy bodies, our bioenergy sphere, our bioenergy field. And so it's kind of like, you can think of it like, it's like the food or the fuel we've been waiting to run our bodies on.
Okay.
Right? We've been running on fossil fuels, right?
Right.
We've been running on some old energies, some toxic, very toxic energies, right?
Yes.
And we've been sick, we've been tired, we've been facing challenges, shadows, all these things. So we've been all asking, calling, praying for support to please. We need a boost up here. We're working really hard here in this density field. It's very, very thick. Things seem to move very slowly. And so when I tune in at these larger cosmic or universal levels, which is mostly where I've been working because it's really hard to work in this density field, it's kind of like opening up portals or pathways for a larger circulation system of cosmic energies, universal energies, solar system and planetary energies right into our own biofield of energy. So these are very large and beautiful circulation energies, and when it's coming in from those higher consciousness fields, that's the field that we call universal love. That's how we would feel that here in this density field. So unified love field. Does that make sense to you?
It makes sense to me in my mind, and it also makes sense to me in my body. And I remember yesterday when you brought it in, that's the point of it, is allowing myself to slow down and take a moment to feel what that feels like landing. And so I'd like to create a bit of spaciousness around that now, and welcome Tom and Armando, who are here with us. Hello.
Hello, hi Armando.
And just to allow ourselves to feel that for a minute. So when you mentioned it, you were saying, yeah, it's like these pink flowing currents, and I just sort of let my body stop for a minute and allow that to land in my consciousness, because I have been running so much at lawnmower frequency. So it's nice to take a minute and allow ourselves to feel that for a minute. So maybe we can just take a few breaths. That's beautiful. It doesn't really feel slow to me. It feels very vibrant and alive. So I'm still feeling that fast pace to it, if I may. It hasn't really slowed down for me. It's still, but it's like, oh, I think I could feel it last night when I woke up. It was like in the middle of the night. It's like, is that an earthquake? No, that's my body. Yeah.
It's so good to, as you suggested, to slow down, to pause, and to feel. How most people have such a strong empathic nature. We're naturally designed to feel subtle energies, to feel life force energies, right? And because most people don't have words or images, like, I'm feeling something, but what is it, and like, that's why I started my YouTube channel, because for me, I'm more of like a seer, and I get concepts and I get words, and I can narrate the energies as I'm feeling them. And I know other people, their feeling capacity has much more range and precision than I do. So that's how we work together. And so it's so great to sit with you, Sarah, because you like, you really feel this, and I can really feel this grounded in your heart and in your energy field. And so it's nice how we work together, and how we can balance and come into co-resonance as we're sitting here. And notice we're even breathing in synchrony, synchronization together. And so part of this unified love field energy, just think of it, it's our boost. It's like our, jumper cables. When our battery kind of went low, we're running out on the like old matrix energy. It was like, we need an infusion of something new, but our systems are still running some old energy. So new energy comes in. It's like flushing out our system, right? So when you're saying some of that faster moving energy, so you've got a new energy meeting an old energy. So it's kind of like, when tides come and go, and you've got like a little bit of turbulence in there, right? So that can be emotional turbulence. That can be a feeling of a racing feeling in your body, your heart rate, your pulses, right? It's like, what is it? This is something new. I don't know what it is. Is it good? Is it
Yeah.
Should I
It's
let
a
this
recalibration.
in? Yeah, it's different. Like we've got our defense mechanisms and set, well, this is how I do life and I'm not going to change, so there can be rigidity, and this comes in and crashes against it. Right. So it can feel a little bit like this, so it may not feel all blissful, you know? So it comes in waves again. So there's parts of us that this love energy will meet parts of us that are very open and receptive to that, and other parts that have been closed and haven't felt that and are defended and protected. So that could be an experience as well.
That makes a lot of sense to me. Yeah. I like how you describe that. You're so descriptive, and it always makes so much sense to me when you share these experiences of what it's like to meet these new energies as they're coming in. Yeah, because it's very relatable. So, and when you were talking, I was kind of getting, it's kind of like, you know, our body is like a vehicle, and if we liken it to a motorized vehicle, it's like we're getting an oil change. We're clearing out all of the old, grimy, goopy, stuck energies as we're getting this infusion of fresh new energies, and changing the filter.
Yes.
Too. We need to change the filter.
Yes. Yes, and those would be filters of perception, like how we're perceiving, right? Change our filter. We perceive life through fear, through lack, through greed. Mostly fear. Yeah. Mostly fear.
That's what all those things are, really. It shuts us down. Yeah. Our receptivity. And so it's like this new energy feels like it's flushing out our receptors, you know, so that it's like priming us for the next vibrational layer that's coming in.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Yeah, beautifully said.
Oh.
Yeah. Ooh, let's feel that one for a moment. Remember to change your filter. Change the filter. Put the old dirty one down. There we go. It's all good. We got new filters for coming in.
We got new filters.
There
that are like more resilient. They won't even get clogged quite so much because we don't have to be running that dense energy.
Yeah.
And
again, like, have some concepts, some words, have some fun concepts with this. Because it's been bloody hard work, right? Sure. We've been all going through our stuff. We're going, we don't have to
think of an oil change as fun.
No.
It's just what we have to do.
That's right.
So I like that, bringing in the dimension of fun. Because, we do have a lot of fun when we're together. Even though, it's funny, like in some spiritual traditions, they can seem so weighty and so heavy and so serious. And then someone cracks a joke and it's like, oh, are we allowed to make jokes? Okay.
Because what does it do? Laughing like jiggles your field and it opens it up, right?
Yes.
It opens it up. And, people always ask, well, Luna, do you have guides? What do you work with? I say, I just call them the wild cosmic beings of delight. That's what I do. And their superpower is cosmic peals of laughter. Like it's the most powerful force in the universe. So, so humor, laughter, very important. Even when, facing really hard and serious things at times. Okay. If you can, laughter allows us a little space to see ourselves and to see a situation. If we're in it, we're all in and we don't have any perspective on the situation. But if we can just kind of laugh a little bit, it's a breathing space, a perspective. We can be a witness. We cannot take it so seriously, but we can stay very connected in our hearts. Okay. Important, yeah.
When you were saying, when we're underneath it, I was imagining us being like under a big heavy blanket versus being under like a crocheted blanket where there's little gaps where the light can get in. Yes, as we do our little back and forth, it's like the way you perceive, the way I perceive, and
it's so complimentary.
It's fun.
It is. It is.
We do have a good time.
Which is a way forward of collaboration. We were just talking this morning of how it's been quite a solo journey for us who are working with energy, light workers, sensitive, empathic people. You feel like the weird one, and you kind of, if you try to share who you are or whatever, you get some judgment, or it's not so welcome, and so we've been very isolated in who we are, and it's like, oh, we can come out now. It's like there's other people like us that you like that too. Oh my gosh! Remember when we first met, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It's like, oh, you're here. Thank goodness.
Here you are. Where have you been all my life? I think I said that out loud.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a settling in the nervous system from that too. Yeah, being able to see our friends finally encountering each other, and that's what our group is all about. Really, is actually having this community of, I heard it once described as, it's an introvert party and everyone's invited.
Yeah.
Come on! Coaxing us out from our little places where we found relative safety to, wow, we can actually be in this field of weirdness together, and actually not so weird, because all of this kooky stuff that used to be strange is actually now coming online for so many people, and they're looking for this, right? And that's why, you've attracted quite a following with your YouTube channels, because you're speaking words that make sense to people on a level that hasn't really been heard before. Because, as you're saying, we know we feel things, but it's been hard to give words to them. And you're very skilled at giving words to those feelings of what we're perceiving as it's coming in, and it's very jarring, and for a lot of people it's just being experienced as dis-ease, discomfort in the physical body, but I really don't know what else is going on or how to explain it.
Or wild emotional fluctuations, challenging situations appearing, not knowing how to do. So it's like to provide new frames of reference, right? That's like take these old filters off, that something's wrong, it's all doom and gloom, it's Armageddon. It's like, what? It's change. It's change. Yeah, some things are going to fall away that were familiar, uncomfortable, but comfortable because they were familiar, weirdly, right? And yes, we need to let go of many concepts, ways of being, energies that we've just accommodated and lived with in this transformational process. So it's very dynamic. So if you go back to how you feel this unified love field, that it's not passive, but it's soft, and it's fierce because it's strong. Because it's like, so when it comes in, it's like those of us that have chosen to take a stand for love, to take a stand for truth, and that is not an easy thing to do in this world, right? And it polishes something in us, or it strengthens or fortifies. I kind of see it like a sword in us that gets forged through our life experiences, which can be very challenging and hard indeed. Or wondering, what the hell is this? Why am I being tested or punished? Or what, we don't understand until we're through. And then we forge something very powerful and strong within us. We've called our power, our sovereignty back to us, We've had to take a strong stand in life on something, to walk away from a hard situation or a violent situation, to stand up and say no when others were going along with something, right? These are transformational experiences, which so when it's like we become like a very strong pillar or antenna. So when new energies come in, we land them down in, and like that's how we're creating and building what you might call a network of light, or a grid work, or a lattice, or a beautiful pattern and structure of light and high consciousness. Yeah, so it's like everything we've experienced, all the suffering, the pain, it was not for nothing. Yeah, so if we embody those experiences and transform, we become this powerful anchor and a powerful pillar, and emanator, transmitter of these higher frequencies of love, of higher frequencies of consciousness.
You just blow me away.
Oh my God!
Just keep talking. Oh my God! It's like a balm for my soul. I hear you. Yes, I love your precision of language and that word you brought in, polishing. That it's like a stone on the sand that's been tossed and until it's just worn so smooth and shiny, and I was also just getting the diamond, all that compression that creates this glittering diamonds and the sword and all that you're bringing in there. It's just it's landing as such truth for me. So thank you, because when you bring these words to it, something just sort of organizes energetically in me. There's this, it's like a little transformer going, oh, that's where that belongs. Oh, that's where that weird feeling goes. Okay. Yeah. Oh, you help it make sense. Thank you, Luma.
Oh, yay.
Wow.
Again, this feel like how we all have different capacities, skills, ability, what we're doing. Most of us have no clue what the hell we're up to most of the time.
Well, that's just
and just following on blind faith, just following guidance. It's just like, I don't know why, but I'm doing this thing.
Right.
Many people that are guided and following that guidance, like,
yes,
and not knowing why. Right? There must be some greater purpose. I don't know what it is, but what guides us is love and truth. It's like those deep and again that polishing or that forging that it's like it becomes more strong and steady, so we're not buffeted so much or pulled. Oh well, there's someone saying that, or someone says it's this, that must be true, and you get pulled in all these directions. Where you actually, oh no, this has a resonance of truth, this rings true, this feels correct in my heart, and this is what I must do.
What aligns with the inner knowing. Yeah. And so what you're talking about really aligns with my inner knowing, that we're on this journey that has been challenging, and we know that we're on the journey because we are going to a good place here. And so these messages of reassurance coming in are so helpful, that say to us, yes, you're on the right path. Yes, keep going. Yes, this is what we're here for, and we know it. And it's just such a beautiful thing to come together in community and supporting each other in this, instead of, I'm this rock by myself getting tossed in the waves. Instead of, okay, actually we can link arms here, and as the waves come, we can hold strong. Yeah. I have this image of doing a tree pose in yoga in a circle with others. This is something my friend Azrael used to do. And then after we tried wobbling around by ourselves, then we reach out a hand to our neighbors, and we're holding each other, and the strength we have to balance together is profound. So I'm just feeling that linking up. What were you going to say? Do you remember?
That again, the standing together when it's like we go through these hard experiences, and like to fortify, so we're not like a wet noodle, so we can actually stand in a tree as a tree pose. We can stand, and we're gonna wobble in the wind. We're gonna bend. And as trees grow in forests together, and the root systems are connected, and and so strong winds come, and we that standing together. But it's that inner work that comes first, right? Then that's so again this like being the hermit, being isolated, being separated from or feeling a very sense of isolation, separation, consciousness that we've been living inside of, like. Did it have a purpose, right? It was, perhaps it was to refine this quality in us of this individual strength. It's a strange thing that we're in a field of, we understand oneness and interconnectivity, but we're also an individual. And so we're kind of this paradoxical, but very beautiful design as human beings, that we can feel both interconnected, we can feel individual, and somehow when that comes into balance within ourselves, then we can connect we have greater connectivity with each other, because we're not grasping, we're not sucking, we're not trying to, I don't have this and they have that, I'm going to we stand in integrity with our souls, with our purpose, with our love and our truth. Yeah.
So we know what we're here for. And from that place, we can connect without a need to, we feel whole within ourselves. So when we're connecting, it's not in order to get something that we feel like we're missing. We're connecting from a place of, like you say, inner integrity of self.
And then that can enhances like our interaction here. Like I can say something, and your presence here will enhance and sharpen, bring more clarity to what I'm saying, and then you'll say something and something will clarify. So it becomes mutually enhancing.
Yes.
And fun.
Very fun.
Fun.
We do have a good time. It's not very serious, really. Is it?
It's mostly bubbles.
Yeah.
Effervescent bubbles. Bring that someone up. You feel, wow, that just dispels heavy density. Yeah.
Yes, and when you come along, and if I have been experiencing density as I was, you can come in and offer me support that doesn't negate where I'm coming from. It doesn't bring any judgment of that I'm not doing enough of something. It's just a welcome support. Like you said yesterday, sometimes you just need a sister. Yeah. And and there is this spaciousness and light and simplicity to it. It's not like a grasping quality, It's like, oh, I really could use a little boost here. Oh, here's my jumper cables. I'm running well here. Boom.
Yes.
Oh, and like you said, that Sunny said, we're giving each other a little love boost.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then how that happens, here we are sharing online, and how that works through the etheric and subtle field. When you find something online that it pops something for you. It can be that boost those words you just needed to hear, or a presence that's coming through that's reassuring, that is uplifting. And we need that because we've been accustomed to being put down, belittled, squished, oppressed,
dismissed,
compressed. Yes. So it's like, again, these receptor sites for receiving recognition, acknowledgement, appreciation, affection. I often talk about it's like this bubbly effervescence that comes into our density, where we had all these little receptor sites that just got, it's like, no, there isn't any love there. I'm not ever going to get what I need. It's dark and scary. I'm just going to, these receptor sites curl in, or some of them, got cut off or got harmed and frazzled. So this, I talk about this effervescent, bubbly kind of vapor mist that comes in and reconditions these kind of hurt and curled up and squished little, very fine, subtle sensors that we have in our energy fields. Right? And we're just extraordinary multidimensional beings that we're just more and more coming into an awareness of that, and these little receptor sites I often think of, they're just starting to, they kind of wake up, and they need some fertilizer so they can grow. And so again, unified love field energy coming in. It's like fertilizer for our multidimensional selves here, for all these layers of our bioenergy field, our spiritual energy fields that are coming into co-resonance again, starting to communicate with greater clarity. We talk often about interdimensional communication systems. People talk about, guides, my higher self. That's interdimensional communication. When you're communicating with consciousness that exists on other planes or realms, densities, dimensions. So it's so exciting. So freaking exciting.
So we're waking up our superpowers.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Which are already there. Yeah. We just didn't. We've been. I was seeing it kind of like root systems that have been sort of fried, and if you can imagine a plant or a tree's roots there are the main roots, and then they send out all these little sort of delicate fresh roots that come off of the main ones that are the ones that are responsible for uptake of nutrient and information, right? That we're softening those heavy roots so that we can send out some new shoots to receive new information, new support, new nutrition, that we can just start to receive in those hardened places, previously hardened places.
I'm really feeling that more again, how you amplify that in your energy field, that feeling quality, that I can feel that more. So hopefully everyone who's listening and watching can drop in and have a sense of that, how that feels for you, because we all feel and sense in very unique ways.
And in the sharing, it's like it's rich. We bring in these different dimensions. And speaking of dimensions, I want you to talk more about that. So tell us more about the dimensions that you perceive.
Oh, okay.
Just because you said that, and I was like, oh, I want to hear more about that.
So there's many maps in spiritual teachings as to levels of consciousness. One map that I have worked with, I found, that one's pretty accurate. I learned it's through something called Keylontic Science. There's a teacher who brought a lot of those teachings through, so I use those maps of a universal structure system that has 5 density fields. So we're in density 1.
Okay.
So this would be the most dense, where things are very compressed and very compacted and very thick.
Okay.
And then there's density 2, 3, 4, and 5, each more subtle. Within each density, so we're here in density 1, there would be 3 dimensions: dimension 1, 2, and 3. And so our state, we have different stations of identity within each density field of 5 and each dimensional field of 15. So it's nice to have a map like that, because when you go out, it's like, what is this? Is this dimension 5? Is this the astral field? Is this okay. So working with this kind of map, and then how that is like a universal structure system in Keylontic Sciences, and again, it works for me for navigating around. And then there's other universal structure systems, and they all interface with each other, so you can travel universally through consciousness as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
So you can go really, really far out there, and then come into 5 densities and 15 dimensions, or you can go far beyond that as well.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's a lot of traveling possible. So we just come back to those dimensions, because people often use that word multidimensional, or in the 5th dimension or the 3rd dimension. Hey, what about the 4th dimension? What's that? Astral field, right? So if you look at this density field, density 1, and dimension 1, 2, 3, and then you go into dimension 4, usually you're crossing into another density field, density 2. So that's transition. So when we're sleeping, right? So we would, we're dropping our identity in this density field, and we shift into density 2. We might move through that, or in a meditative state, or in a flow creative state. It starts to open up, awareness and information flowing, from different stations of identity, different levels of consciousness can start to stream through, and then you get a nice bigger spectrum of frequencies. So we've been kind of sealed off in density 1 here, like phase locked, kind of locked in, and said, oh no, there's nothing more than the 5 senses, or that science can measure, right? And if you want to go elsewhere, you got to go through religion, and you got to, that takes you somewhere else, but they're not really connected. So we're coming into this great interconnectivity, where there's a flow and movement, and these pathways where there was like a ceiling on what you could be conscious with until you go unconscious, and you might go into another state, or people have near-death experiences where then they can travel through other states of consciousness. So So we're remembering how those capacities come back online. Is that making sense? Do you have more questions about that?
So density 2 then is 4th dimension. Are there 3 dimensions in each one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
so density 2 has dimensions 4, 5, 6. Okay, interesting.
Uh-huh.
So are we transitioning into this second density? And when we're in second density, doesn't it still include first density?
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious
Yeah,
about that.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Another way to map it, that's levels, right? Another way is to map it as spheres, like circles within circles within circles,
okay.
right? Nested spheres, yeah, and they are meant to all kind of breathe together, so you can breathe right into your source point, all the way out into the deepest density field and back again, right? So
cool.
So it's like, no, density 1, we gotta escape there. It's a horrible place. It's evac out of there. Here, lift us out, back up to the 5th dimension. They're like, hey, no, every dimension of life has its beauty. It has its experience, and purpose, yeah.
Okay.
And so when we integrate, it's like, oh, we've learned something here in dimension 2, in density 1, and we're metabolizing those experiences and learning, so we can. Again, open up these veils, open up these ceilings, open up the pathways, so that information of our human experience is shared more freely with our soul. Our soul's like, what are you humans doing down there? They're like, no, souls don't exist. Angels don't exist. All these angels, it's like, well, we do actually. So this is the communication. Oh, yes, I have a soul. I have a higher self. I have these different levels of consciousness that I can engage with, and we know that we do in our dreams, our meditations, when our hearts open with love, and also through shocking experiences. Sometimes it's like the veil gets ripped open, and we're suddenly aware of so much more. And how do we integrate that into this system if it's closed? So we're working on. So again, to come back to the unified love field that can flow through every dimension, every density, so no level is left untouched. Yeah, nothing is left behind. There's always been people like, if I send my friend or my mom, or they're still unconscious and they're not going to send. That's a question I get a lot in my work, right?
Yeah, it's a big belief.
Yeah, it's like every level is working on something. Yeah, just be aware what level that you are on right now, and if you need to go forward and others are still working at other levels, then allow them to do that. But don't let that hold you back. Right. If you are called to go into another dimension of experience, then go forward. And
so that we still have access to what's in the center in these nested worlds. You can still travel to third dimensional reality. Thank you for that. That's huge.
Okay.
That's huge.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of people that believe in separation, that if we ascend to 5th dimensional reality, then 3D disappears, and it's like there's a lot of people who believe in this big split, that people will be left behind, and that some of us are going forward, and it's that personally for me has never felt resonant, because I don't like the idea of that certain people are the ones who win and other ones lose. Yeah. It's sort of been framed that way.
Yeah. And because we've lived in polarity and duality, and it's all like based on friction and conflict and us versus them, and I'm better than you and you're less than me, and that everything's been transactional in that way, that it's been one of our filters of perception, how we perceive then in spiritual life as well, right?
Yes.
So if we take that off and go, well, everything has meaning, everything has purpose. And when we can understand or bring our light to that, then it metabolizes, all those experiences which, when we don't understand, or we haven't metabolized or alchemized, we've got this inner alchemy as the angelic human beings. When that metabolizes, and we don't have to carry all those files around with us, right? It's like, we carry our huge filing cases and boxes and like giant libraries of our stories of of suffering, and it's like in our, we have to honor our ancestors' suffering, or we have to remember these things, and we carry these huge heavy things around, and when we finally, here we are at this time where we can metabolize, alchemize that, distill all of those experiences into this essence of understanding, illuminated with love, with true higher truth, and then we become lighter. So our experience of living in density 1 is different. It becomes different. We feel lighter. We can move around more freely. We connect more freely. We can create more freely.
We have all that information on a little flash drive.
Exactly.
Big filing cabinet.
Dragging that around, and then the new information can come in. It's like, here's some new art materials for you folks. It's like we've been trying to, higher consciousness. We've been trying to deliver you some new creation materials to create with, some new frequencies, some new energies. But we, it was kind of closed. We couldn't access you guys here. We couldn't deliver. Now the cosmic delivery system's working.
Sweet.
Okay.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's so beautiful, Luma. Thank you. I just, something when you were talking about breathing into all the different dimensional realities and densities, I thought, oh, that might be a nice thing for us to do.
Let's do that now.
Let's do that.
Yeah. My dear friend Sunny, who you've also met.
Again, Sunny.
I have done a conversation with her once on my YouTube channel, a very popular one, where and it's this open phasing breathing. Yeah, so think of nested spheres. We're right in the center when you inhale. You go connect right to your source point, your origin point, and then as you exhale, out through all those gorgeous layers, densities, dimensions, levels of identity, all the way out to the farthest reaches of density. And then when you inhale, you pull all of those experiences and energies all the way back into your center point again. And then you refresh all those layers as you exhale out, sending a fresh, refreshing, direct source energy out to every layer of your existence in every dimension, plane, realm, level of consciousness. And just imagine, kind of like an accordion a little bit, and coming in and out, and there's a beautiful sound. So,
I like that there's sound.
you may imagine it as the breath of spirit, that breathes through and permeates through every layer of existence. Refreshing, oxygenating, hydrating, whatever is needed through all these gorgeous layers. And with every breath, as this breath of spirit passes through, it can loosen adhesions, it can lighten the load, things get redistributed, some things dissolve and drop away. As more refreshment comes in, again, we're working with that unified love field as a concept and reality here today, so that can breathe through every layer. And all you do is breathe and say yes. Yes to universal love. Yes to the deeper cosmic truth of existence. You may find your breath goes kind of both ways simultaneously. There's a wave coming into your center and a wave moving out from center to your edges, going both directions simultaneously. This way we're saying yes to harmonizing and balancing our bioenergy field with the unified field of love. So we're harmonizing and balancing on every layer of our personal energy field, our soul energy field and beyond. Balancing and harmonizing. What are you noticing, Sarah?
I just moved my hands into this position like I'm holding a ball in my hands of my whole self. And as you were sharing, I was seeing that pink energy just sort of moving through all the different layers, all the densities, like almost like each one was like a mesh, and it was finding its way through all the little holes. The flow. And it feels really good to name and hold all those parts of ourselves as one, calling them all in and holding them all and integrating them instead of seeing them as parts of myself that are somewhere out there that I'm not in touch with. It was very integrating. Mm-hmm. I feel like I've got my whole world in my hands. Just like the song.
I'm also noticing a relaxing of tensions. And that's something I'm often will say to myself as a reminder, because we've been so compressed and contracted that to do this kind of breathing with this awareness it's relaxing a lot of tensions, mental concepts, emotional tensions, psychic tensions, physical tensions, etheric tensions, and refreshing all of these systems, all of these structures so they can repattern. And we're going through a great restructuring, a great repatterning. And so with this breathing, it's like whatever each layer of yourself is needing, whether it's been dried out and is brittle, it needs hydration, or whether it is starving for some nutrients that it hasn't had. You know, there's new elements coming back, ancient and new elements coming into our planetary existence again. Yeah, there's such a fuller spectrum and range, so it's kind of like, keep ask and you will receive, right? A lot of spiritual teachers have been saying that. It's like, doesn't seem to work for me. I'm asking and nothing's showing up, right? It's like, what am I doing wrong? People say that all the time. I'm doing something wrong. What's wrong? It's like, okay, let's like refresh those concepts, those mental tensions. Like, I have to do this thing. I have to do it. It's like, right? Relax a lot of those tensions, right? It's just like, in this embeddedness. I'm embedded within this greater consciousness, within this greater intelligence, within universal love, to put it in that way. Yeah? Then our system can go, oh, thank you. And
that came for me when you said you might find yourself breathing in both directions at the same time. That was a big release. Because even that was this tension of in and out. There's just one way. It's like, oh, they can be doing this all the... Oh, okay. That released a lot more. Yeah.
Just again, these concepts, right?
Yeah, concepts
and
that
how
are like binding concepts.
Exactly, especially how we locate ourselves in linear time and space. This is up, this is down,
right.
This is counterclockwise, this is clockwise. Am I doing it right? we're radial, we're spherical, we're
meanwhile, it's like, oh, okay.
I think
it's just making it all a little more flexible.
Exactly. It's like that's so fun. Like, you know, like we're being in an anti-gravity, zero gravity thing where you can float in any direction.
Upside down. Ooh, I'm breathing this way.
And I remember like years ago having these experiences that I would be taken through. Like, what is happening to me? I'm having bed spins. Like things are going. It's like we're doing some, recalibration of your system so you can orient yourself multidimensionally and radially rather than on a linear axis. Yes. And get yourself used to it so you don't freak out and throw up and get nauseous.
On this roller coaster.
Yeah, this is part of like these sort of things, like having dragonfly eyes, right? Being able to see and feel and sense and travel in multi-dimensions. Yes. And not get nauseous.
And not barf.
Exactly. Pretty much, yeah. So that's the fun stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I think we've reached our landing place.
Yeah. Full.
Do you?
Yeah. That was beautiful, Sarah. It's so fun to do that breathing together because it really again breathes in like this fuller, richer frequency substance of universal energy, life force energy, bioenergy. It's like, it's so juicy.
It's so tasty.
So tasty, like fresh strawberries.
Yes. My friend Shoni's just got an album called Truth So Tasty.
Yeah.
Truth So Tasty.
There's this.
Yes.
That is satisfying when we feel satisfied and we're relaxed and we feel full.
Yeah.
And we know we're complete.
Yeah. We feel, this is complete for sure. Thank you. Thank you, sister. Oh my gosh.
Thanks for the invitation. Yes. So nice to be connecting with all kinds of new people on your group here. Incredible.
Your group. And
yeah,
this is fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can feel things just, it just feels like our multi-dimensional life is blossoming.
Yes.
We are in bloom. We are blooming. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Mm-hmm.
Thank you for listening so much.
Yes, thanks for being with us. This because we all just were co-creating that together. And the fun thing that I always get to remember is that people who see this in the future are also co-creating that with us now, lending even more multidimensionality to our experience that we're having. So those watching this in the future, you're with us now. It's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
This is where we get to play. Thank you, loves.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here today. We love you so much. Mwah! See you next time.